Hey friends, this is Karen from Blue Rooster Farm, and today we are going to be opening our Sew Sampler box for August 2025. After the video, we're going to do a little bit of Quilty chat, and then I'm going to share with you a freebie that I'm giving you at the end of this video. So stick around if you want to see what's in this box. Hey, thanks for sticking around. Well, like I said in the intro, we are going to be opening our August Sew Sampler box. And if you are new to my channel, I subscribe to these boxes and get them once a month. They are $29.99, and then you pay shipping and tax. And I believe it comes out to $37 or a little bit more when it's all said and done for me in Missouri. So I'm not sure if you pay tax in your state, but with the tax that I pay and the shipping, it is about a little bit more than $37. So we are going to be opening this, and after we open this, we are going to go over some of the projects that we've done in the last month since our last Sew Sampler box. I also want to share a freebie with you at the end of this video, so be sure you stick around for that. So let's get started and open up this box. I have no idea what's in this. I have not seen the sneak peek or anything, so I am opening it for the first time too. So this says, Sew Sampler Sewing Wild, August 2025. And if you're new to the Sew Sampler box, this is put out by Fat Quarter Shop, and they are a family-owned business. It's online only. They have wonderful products. They carry a huge assortment of fabrics, and I suggest you check them out. They are a wonderful shop. So let's see. Now, on the Sew Sampler box, you always get this little card, and on the back, there is usually a coupon for the people that receive this box, and then some information. So the coupon this time is 20% off all charm packs, which are 5-inch squares, and that is wonderful. And then they talk a little bit about one of their live streams with Shelly Kavana. And I'm wondering if maybe her fabric is the one that we're going to have in this box. We'll see. And then they have National Sew a Jelly Roll Day, and that is Saturday, September 20th. And Kimberly Jolly, who is the owner of Fat Quarter Shop, is going to be doing a live stream that day. And I imagine she's going to do something with the jelly roll, so that will be fun. They also take a pattern that they've given free to their viewers, and they recolor it in the fabrics that are in this box. And they have this quilt right here. It's Charm Pack Crispies, and it's a real cute quilt. And it's a free quilt pattern for anyone. And they've put it with this fabric, and this is a pretty fabric. I don't know what it is yet, but apparently we're going to be getting charm packs because this is a charm pack friendly quilt. So it's called Charm Pack Crispies Shortcut Quilt. I think you can see that there. Isn't that pretty? So it looks like our fabric's going to be some blues and some greens, aquas. Very pretty. Okay, let's see what we've got. Now I'm going to hold the fabric until the end. Also in this box, we always have a card that has all the information about the items in this box. And so I am just going to start, and I'll give you the value of each item that we are getting to. And at the end of this video, I'll show you what the total value of this box is to see if it's a good price for what we paid. We always have notions, fabric, and patterns in this box. And depending on the value of each will depend on how many you get. So the first thing that I'm pulling out of here is a 4-in-1 Hexie by Creative Grids. Creative Grids is a wonderful template ruler company. They have wonderful rulers that are really easy to use. And so I'm looking at this one, and it says this 4.5-inch Hexie cuts 4 different shapes, all from strips and all easy to follow. Shapes include a 4.5-inch hexagon, a 4.5-inch half hexagon, a 2.5-inch triangle, and a 2.5-inch diamond. Now this is what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and open it up because I can see that there are lines that have those shapes on it. Now I have not seen this ruler before. This I'm thinking must be a new one. And this is a non-slip ruler. It has this, and if you can see where it's a little bit, oh, I don't know, matte colored for you, that is a non-slip surface. So when you lay it on your fabric, it won't slip around. Now, as you can see, we have some shapes there. So what this does is you take your 2.5-inch strip of fabric, which are jelly rolls if you get them as pre-cuts, and depending on the way you lay this on that 2.5-inch strip will determine your cut. So you can cut like this and have half hexagons. You can cut this right here and have the triangles, or you can cut this right here and have a diamond. So depending on how you flip it will determine what you cut. So that's going to be really handy. I really like to do those kind of cuts with strips, and so this is going to be nice. I'm going to have to read up on it because this is new to me, but I think I'll have a lot of uses for it. So that is our Creative Grids 4-in-1 Hexie. And so here's what it's said about it. It has a value of $21.99. So Creative Grid rulers are not cheap, but they are good quality. It says, plant the seed and watch it blossom with the Creative Grids 4-in-1 Hexie ruler. This clever little tool is like sunshine for your cutting table and makes it a breeze to shape 4.5-inch hexagons, 4.5-inch half hexagons, 2.5-inch triangles, and 2.5-inch diamonds from simple fabric strips. Its grippy back keeps things steady while you snip and trim with confidence. And with a built-in 1/4-inch seam allowance, your pieces are all set to bloom into beautiful shapes without any extra fuss. So again, $21.99 value. It is the 4-in-1 Hexie ruler. So we might have to try that with some kind of a quilt block or something. That looks fun. All right, let's see what else is in here. Then we have an all-erasing sew line air pin. Let's see what it says. It's always nice to get pins that you can draw on fabric with, and then they disappear. This has a value of $3.98. It says, planning out your stitches but don't want to leave a lasting mark, the Sewing Air erasable pin glides across the fabric with a smooth ceramic roller ball, giving you crisp, easy to see lines right where you need them. Like footprints in a wildflower meadow, the marks gently fade away on their own within 2 to 10 days. It's perfect for making your mark without leaving a trace. So this one erases with air. So let's see if I have a piece of scrap fabric. Okay, let's see how well it writes. Oh, you can see that real nicely, and it was very smooth. That'll be great. Wonderful. You know, anytime you're using an erasable marker, it's always like, is it going to erase? Is it going to erase? And they do. They do. Okay, let's see what's next. Let's look at the fabric. And we have in this package 3, 1, 2, and 3 charm packs. And these are from Benartex. And these are called Among the Wildflowers by Shelley Kavana. Now, I am going to put some kind of a thing right here, and it will have all the fabrics so you can see them. But I'm going to open, oh, I won't even open. Here are the colorways right here. But then I will put a grid of the fabrics on the screen as well. There are lots of pretty blues, all florals, teals, greens. Oh, that's really pretty. This reminds me of somebody else's fabric that I had made something with, and I'm trying to think of who it was. It seems like she was with Moda. The same colorway. Was it some kind of flour sacks? And to let you kind of get a visual of the colors, a little dust, really pretty. Really, really pretty. This will make something really pretty. And the price of the fat quarters is a $37.44 value for all 3. Let your creativity frolic among the wildflowers with Shelley Kavana. These charm packs are blooming with bold blossoms and leafy prints in cheerful shades of teal, navy, lime, and sky blue. This collection lets your imagination run wild and encourages you to get lost among the wildflowers. Each square is a little breath of fresh air, ready to brighten your blocks, spark new ideas, and bring even more joy to your next project. Again, $37.44 for all 3. And as we know, fabric is getting to be very expensive. That would make the value of each charm pack about 12 something, maybe $12.50 or so. And so fabric is getting to be expensive. And here is the cute pattern that goes with it, and it is called Rain Lilies. Oh, I love it. And I have a feeling we are going to be using our ruler. And so if you want to make this runner, you need 2 of these charm packs, and you need 7/8 of a yard of background fabric and 2/3 yard of bias bindings. They're going to make a bias binding with this. And I have a video of how to make bias binding if you need to know how to make that in an easy way. And then 2 yards for backing. And the size of this finished project is about 16.5 by 58.25 inches. So it's a long table runner. And it is so cute. Let me see if I can take a peek here how they're doing this. Okay, it looks to me like they are taking and either folding their squares or they're cutting them in half. So if you cut a 5-inch square in half or you fold it, you're going to get 2.5 inches, which is the size of a jelly roll strip. So they're using these strips to use this ruler, okay? So that is going to be fun. And then I think with their background, they make strips and they cut these shapes with the background. Now it does have a lot of pieces. When I look at this pattern, it has a lot of pieces. So I'm just going to give you kind of a thing. So there's a lot of little pieces, but boy, that is so cute. So cute. That would be a really pretty one to make. We'll see if I can find time to make that. Again, Rain Lilies. This pattern has a value of $9.98. It says, put your 4-in-1 Hexie ruler to good use with the charm packs in this month's box to create the Rain Lilies Table Runner, a Fat Quarter Shop exclusive. This pattern bursts with hexies and triangles that come together in fresh, cheerful designs. For each piece feels like a little bouquet in bloom, making it a joy to piece and even more delightful to display. And then they have a little QR code that you can go to, and they have a backing set that you can purchase if you'd like the backing set. A lot of times those things, actually it's the finishing kit. This is for the finishing kit, and that would be the top fabric, the background fabric, and the binding. I don't think they have the backing kit for this one, but sometimes they do. And what that is just, if you want to purchase that separately, they have it, but a lot of times those run out pretty quickly. So if you're going to get the finishing kit, you need to do that quickly. And the final thing that we have in our box is our monthly sew along quilt block. And the series this year is Flowering, and it's a quilt along. And they give us a quilt block each month in our Sew Sampler box. And at the end of the quilt along, they will have a layout how to put all your blocks together. And so this one has been a really pretty one. I love the flower blocks. And this one is called Sweet as Honeysuckle block. And again, they don't look like the flowers, but those are the names that they're giving them. And isn't that cute? And the fabric that they have been using in this sew along, or this quilt along, is Summertime by Camille Roskelly. So all of the blocks have been colored in her fabric, but you can use whatever color you'd like. But this one right here is a very simple one. We have squares and half square triangles, and we just put those together. And the blocks are large. They're 18.5 by 18.5 inches, so that they are big blocks. And I can't wait to see what the finishing looks like on this quilt along. So block 5, let's see, the value is $4.98, and it says, this month's Flowering quilt block is ready to bloom. Let your creativity run wild as this sampler quilt sprouts into a true forget-me-not, stitch by stitch. If you missed one, all Flowering block patterns will be available at Fat Quarter Shop. So if you just start the Sew Sampler now and you want to join in on this quilt along, you can purchase the blocks that you have missed for, it looks like $4.98 each. So that would be something that if you're just starting the Sew Sampler quilt box, you can still catch up. So in our box today, we had our quilt block for the quilt along. We had our runner pattern for our charm squares. We have 3 packs of charm squares, but you only need 2 for that pattern. So if you're wanting to make something else, a lot of times having 3 will go a long way. A lot of times just 2 charm packs can make a nice size quilt if you have a lot of background. But they give us 3. We have our 4-in-1 Hexie ruler by Creative Grids, and we have our air erasing sew line pin. So what do you think of this box? I think it's a great one. I always enjoy getting the rulers because some of those rulers are things that I won't purchase on my own. I will find a different way to make those blocks, but if I have the ruler, it is easier to make them. So I like the box. I'll put a total of the value of this box up here somewhere. Let me know in the comments what you think. I think it's a great box to get. So I'm going to be right back. I'm going to grab a few things and we're going to do a quilty chat. And remember, I have a freebie to share with you if you stick around. All right. I think I've gathered everything up and we are ready to share some of the things that we've been doing this last month. Now, I do have lots of new viewers that watch these box openings. So if you are a new viewer and you want to find these different projects that I'm sharing, you can go to Blue Rooster Farms YouTube page and you can click on videos, and they will be the first videos at the top from this last month. Also, I will try to include links in the description box for as many of these as I can. And then you can go down there and click on the links too. Remember, when you see the description box at the bottom, there's the little word saying more, and that word more opens up the description box so that it is a bigger window and you can see most everything in there. Sometimes if you're especially on your phone, it will say more again, and you'll have to click another more to open up the very rest of it. All of the links, all of the PDFs that I share and stuff are found in the description boxes underneath the videos where I do those tutorials. So that's how you can find these patterns. Now, the first thing we did after I opened our lasso sampler box was our August tea towel of the month, and it went along with our August dish mat of the month, which was a beehive. So this was the sunflower and bee applique tea towel, and at the top we have a tie. So if you're new to these tea towels, every month I come out with a new design that kind of correlates with what's going on or what I enjoy this time of year. So they're just some designs that I make for myself and I'm sharing with you. Then we had a video. I also do the canning and cooking videos, and we had a video on Fiesta corn salsa. And in that video, I also had a tutorial for a canning jar. It was this 8-inch finished canning jar. And I have in the description box below that video the pattern for it, which is the cutting directions and the layout. And then if you watch the video, you can see how to put that together. I also shared in that video some letter tiles that correlate with that cute block. And it was these letter tiles that look like this. And if you don't know how those are used, whenever I cut fabric for a pattern, I always label the pieces with a letter, and then I put one of these, whoops, that's upside down, one of these letters on it to correlate with the cut. So when I'm cutting, it's easy for me to tell which piece of fabric I need to use. And so I like to take this free download and I put it on its best printing and run it through with cardstock, and then I laminate mine. You can put it through regular paper and just use it and then throw away the pieces. You can use cardstock and they'll last for quite some time, or if you laminate them, they basically will last forever. So I do that. I did have somebody ask how I store or keep all of my letter tiles. And that is something that I'm realizing I am needing to do, because I'm sharing a lot of letter tiles with you, especially when we're doing different blocks. I know several of you have reached out and said you enjoy those new letter tiles. I'd like to know too, is that something you'd like me to continue? Because I make them for myself and I'm glad to share them if you'd like them too. But I've started just putting them in a little box like this, and I think I got this one from Hobby Lobby, and it was like $4 maybe or something like that, and it's just the perfect size. But whenever I have the one that I'm using at that time of year, I usually try to put it in something that is easy to reach and just setting on my cutting table. Sometimes I use a little canning jar, but something that just is easy to reach and kind of coordinates with that style of tile, just to make it fun. Because you all know that if you kind of dress up your sewing room and make it fun, you enjoy being in there even more. So that's my idea for right now. I had thought about getting individual containers and putting a tile on the outside and then having a little shelf with all of them, but that will take up a lot of space. And this is nice because I can just kind of set this in my drawer here and collect them and keep them and use them whenever I like, and they're just fun to use. I have seen tiny little drawers that pull out, the plastic cubbies that have the little drawers. And there are some that would be a perfect size for these. And you could put one of these tiles on the outside of the drawer and that would work really nice. Right now, I am pretty tight on space in my room, and I already have a little larger cubby like that that has some notions and things in it. But if you can find one of those cubbies that is small, I don't remember if it's Hobby Lobby that I saw it at or online, but I saw one somewhere, and that would work really well, and that would be cute too. So just some ideas. If you have some great ideas on how you are storing your letter tiles, we'd love to hear it. That would be wonderful. Thanks for sharing. So the next thing I have is some quilt and project tags that I shared, and I shared these in the Open Gate subscription box for August, and they were in the description box below, and they were some fall and late summer themed tags. And in the bottom here, I put a QR code. I didn't realize that it was one that would expire, and it did. Somebody commented and I went in and changed it. So the new one is not one that will expire. So if you have this and you scan the code, it will take you right to the video that shows you how to use those project tags and what you need to buy in order to adhere those to ribbon or whatever you're making your tags out of. So that is from the Open Gate Quilts subscription box for August. I had a video on how to make this cute little 4-inch finished tomato block right here. And right now, we don't have our 1/4-inch seams, but once you have your 1/4-inch seams, it rounds it out really nicely. I was looking at it a while ago and I was like, that looks like a strawberry. But once you have all your 1/4-inch seams put in, it is a round tomato. But I do have the tutorial for that, and you do receive this pattern with the cutting instructions on it and the layout. So that is for the tomato quilt block, and that's just a video on its own. And then we had our canning jar quilt block that was just released a couple of days ago. And we used the canning jars that we made earlier to put this together. And this is fabric by Kim Deal. And I wanted to go with a richer, deeper, more going into fall style fabric. And I just love her fabric, so I made it with Kim Deal. Of course, you can make yours with whatever fabric you want. You can make it bright and cheery, whatever you'd like to do. You could put the food fabric so that it looks like there's food in the jars, which is always really cute. And I also used one of those tags that I just shared with you for the back, the one that had the canning jars. So the only difference with that pattern for the canning jars, and I give you a new pattern, is that it's not the 8-inch finished. It's a 5x8-inch finished quilt block. That way they can go side by side, and you do have the cutting directions and the layout. And in the video, I actually go ahead and do another tutorial at the very end to show you how to put those blocks together if you needed to see it with those different size cuts. So there are all the things that we have done this past month. It has been a very busy month. I am getting way behind on my comments, and I am trying to glance at them whenever I can. I'm just not responding, but I am going to sit down and probably spend hours answering some of those comments and reading through them more thoroughly. I really appreciate you commenting. Right now, it has just been so busy with the garden, with canning, with preserving, with the getting all of the quilt or the tea towel of the month, the dish towel of the month, and trying to get as much sewing to share with you as I can, because I love being in my sewing room and I want to do that, but I also want to make sure that my viewers are enjoying my channel too. We have had extremely hot weather, and we have it's been really hard to get things done outside without getting extremely overheated. And so it's been a real hard couple of weeks for the gardens and our plants, but they're coming out of it just fine. We haven't had to water any in the garden this year so far. Of course, I water my flower pots and all of the stuff that are in pots and the flowers in my yard, but not the garden. It's mulched. And so far it has done really good. We've had some really good rains later in the summer, which really made it nice and green and lush up here. But it is starting to dry up. Today it is in the 70s and it is beautiful. We have our windows open. You can probably hear crickets and things outside, but it is a beautiful day, and we have several of these beautiful days in a row coming up. So we're going to really enjoy these. But I apologize for not getting all of the comments answered, and I do keep track and peek at them when they pop up here and there, but I just haven't had time to sit down and comment back. So I want to apologize for that. I did promise you a freebie. So if you have stuck around and are watching, I have given you 2 sheets of fall and Christmas tags. I know that a lot of you are making Christmas projects right now, and I wanted to make sure that you had some tags for those Christmas projects. So I went ahead and made some more fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, those tags so that you can have something to use. And this time I'm giving you 2 sheets, and each sheet has the same designs. Only one of the designs has them going up and down. So these are great for quilts and things like that, where your tag is hanging in the back and you can just flip it up or flip it down. And then I have some that are going the same designs, but they're going this way horizontally. And that way, those are great for things that you want to have the tag going out the side, like a project bag or something like that, or a tote where you just want the tag to kind of stick out there. And so there are those. So I hope you are all doing wonderful, and I hope you're enjoying the end of your summer. It's kind of bittersweet. I enjoy summer. I don't enjoy the really hot temperatures. If summer were the temperature it is today all year round, that would be wonderful. But of course, it's not. But summer is one of my favorite times of year. It is a very busy season around here, but I do enjoy it. I am looking forward to fall. Fall is nice for the change in weather and just the smells of fall and just the coziness. So I hope you're like me and are looking forward to fall as well. And in winter, I get to sew a little more. There's more time to be in the sewing room, so that is fun as well. So I hope you're enjoying the end of your summer and getting a chance to get outside and enjoy this beautiful weather. And I hope to see you back here soon. Remember, if you are not a subscriber, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe. That would help my channel out so much. I know the algorithms with YouTube are constantly changing, and it seems like the numbers can go up and down and fluctuate. So I really hope that if you enjoy what you're seeing, you're subscribed so that you can support my channel too. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like and share, and I'll see you back here next time. Bye-bye.